Hi, my name is Bean Takanik Preet, and I am here today with one of our meditation members. And if you can introduce yourself.
My name is Aaron Williams.
Aaron, thank you. I'm so glad that you can actually be here with us today and that you have allowed me to interview you because your experience here has been really good. So I wanted to ask for you to share it. But before we get to that, tell me how long you've been coming to the meditation classes here and when you started coming.
I would say it's been a gradual progression. I started coming, I guess as long as I've known your brother. We've shown up here. He usually meditates for his birthday, which is January 1st. So we'll spend December 29th kind of meditating on to midnight for his birthday. So that's changed since I got married, but
no more meditation on the birthday.
Right. Well, I can't dedicate New Year's Eve to meditating.
Yeah, yeah. In terms of your meditation practice, can you explain to me kind of what techniques you've used before you started to adopt the Tamagaya meditation technique?
Well, I think previously in my meditation I was using the breath, and I never really had very much success with that. And then I tried the center meditation, and that didn't really work for me either. I find that my mind is typically has a lot of mental chatter going on.
What is a center meditation?
Where you just concentrate on your center.
Oh, okay, so the awareness.
Right.
Okay, so when did your meditation, in terms of what you found worked for you, explain that to me. What is that? What technique is that?
Well, now I use the Dhammakaya technique, which is the mindfulness at the center. Where we use the visualization, the mantra to help quiet the mind, and mental imagery to help focus the mind.
Was that initially difficult for you to transition to from the breathing?
Actually, I found that to be fairly natural, especially when I started reaching or gaining some success with it. I think that some of the meditation or the monks here are very, very adept at meditating, and they were able to help, maybe not guide me in particularly, but give me enough knowledge to be able to do it for myself.
Okay. In terms of your meditation progression, when do you feel that you started to actually gain some insight and it started to get better and easier?
I think when Lumpy Payunsuk was visiting, your brother was actually a big advocate of him, and he was really adamant that I come and meet him. So I came here one afternoon because we had, I think, a retreat. And
I don't remember you being at that retreat.
I was only here for one afternoon.
With Lumpy Payungsak? Okay.
But in that meeting, I mean, it was like a whole different world. So I felt like my meditation went well beyond where I had been previously.
Okay.
And it kind of showed me the path.
Okay. What about when, because I know that you were, the next time that I remember seeing you here at the center was when Venerable Nicholas came. Did you start to actually, when you came during that time, was your meditation at that time pretty good and pretty firm, or did it get better from that point on in terms of your dedication?
I think definitely it reinvigorated my dedication.
Yeah.
And I found myself meditating more and more, I guess in anticipation of his arrival. And then after the retreat, gaining even more progression or more firmness in my meditation, and now my wife complains that I'm meditating all the time.
That's good. So that segues into the next question. How often do you meditate?
I meditate every morning for at least 2 hours, and honestly I just found myself waking up in the morning earlier and earlier because it was so important to me to get it in before I even started my day.
Yeah.
And lately I found myself meditating more, not only in the mornings, but again before I go to bed at night. Even if it's just for 15 minutes at night, but I make sure that I get in the 2 hours in the morning.
And can you help share with us your meditation progression and experience?
Yes. It started, I think, when it starts when at the center, when I can, start to still my mind and bring everything down and calm and relax myself. And then I find that it's the hollowness of the body and the breathing, the in and out. And then as that progressed, I found imagery of like a little Buddha starting to appear in my center. And that continued on and on. And then
Did that scare you originally when you saw something in your meditation?
it didn't really frighten me until the point when I felt like things were in the room with me, and I could see that my mind was becoming brighter and brighter. It was almost like a illumination from underneath me, and it just kind of comes up and wells up all around me. And then I started to feel like things were around me or moving or noises, and then at some point I realized that it was just me, and I realized that it was a crystal version of me, because I would see the Buddha image, but then as I got closer and closer to the image, it was more and more of my face. And then at one point in my meditation, I had something appear right beside me, and it was the crystal body. And when I looked at it,
Was it it was actually outside of you, or
right,
was it
right
inside
beside me,
you?
but it was firm and still, and it didn't move, but it just appeared. And it was my size, same size as me. And I could see him out of my corner of my eye, and I realized that it was my face. And that's really when things started to move forward for me and progress.
Was that the point when you were seeking some advice from the teacher?
Yes.
Yeah.
Initially, when Lumpy Payansuk was here, I had achieved some bigger levels, but other things started to happen. Things started to appear. Some things were kind of frightening at that point. And he advised me to just stay inside, which I found extremely difficult to do. And then when it started happening again shortly after Lumpy Nicholas.
So did you, after like Lumpy Payungsak came and you meditated, and there were things that were kind of happening that you couldn't explain, you kind of stopped meditating for a while?
Well, they became so advanced and so frightening. I wanted them to stop.
So you just stopped meditating.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then I found myself wanting to rekindle that desire inside me to continue the meditation progression. It was still there, and I still, I think with Lumpy Nicholas coming, I definitely wanted to sit and rekindle that that fire. So.
And then since then, your meditation has pretty much firmed, like got to the point where it was before, but kind of continued to grow. Is that
Absolutely,
right?
Yes, and it's grown in a different way. I think that initially I found myself wanting to get back to where I was previously, and I know that that's a hindrance,
Right.
but it's hard not to judge yourself on a scale. And then I realized that it doesn't really matter, and I just decided to use my experience, whatever it may be, as a chance to learn. And I think something that Nah Lung said at one point, where your kindness is your power. And that really resonated with me. And so now, if anything external happens, I send kindness. And I've started to see, I think, more importantly, changes not only in my meditation and the progression that I've achieved, but I think also in my external self. The way that I encounter situations in life or work or other people, I find myself, whenever I have an aversion to something, or something disagrees with me, or it makes me upset, I make myself do the opposite of what I want to do, which is, react or be angry or say something angry. And don't get me wrong, I still have my moments, but I think that when I feel like I'm progressing the most is when I do the opposite of it, and then a realization kind of happens.
So you're able to actually control your reaction before you react.
Right.
Well, that's what meditation is supposed to do, so it's definitely working for you.
Yes, absolutely, it's working.
Yeah. Would you say that meditation has instilled wisdom in you? Because one of the things that I've been taught, and it makes sense to me, and it's something that we often talk about here at the center, the monks, is that everything that you learn through the center, through the Dharma, you discover on your own without having the answers, say from the Venerable or from books, but you can actually have that understanding and those answers by yourself. You can answer that through the wisdom that you're able to cultivate through meditation.
Yes, I definitely think that you do encounter wisdom. And I think it starts off like any kind of learning experience. Whenever you see things that are different or what you formulated to be, just like an epiphany would be. And you start to say, well, this is what this experience is like. And you kind of take yourself out of that situation. You take whatever emotions you have out of that situation, and you start to realize that it is this way, and that there's no need to change it, and that you are kind of distilling yourself and purifying what you're becoming, and it is something different, and it is something beautiful. I think that even if you're just starting out as a meditator, it's beautiful in the beginning, and it's beautiful throughout the whole process.
Now, I remember before when we've talked, you told me that you do meditate, and I encouraged you to try to join the meditation class, try to come to the center. I'm so glad that you have, but I also remember that there was a little bit of a pushback on that. You were a little not stubborn, but you didn't really want to. I guess you didn't really feel the need,
Right.
In terms of kind of where you were. It seemed to me that you were just very kind of content with kind of what you're doing, and you're meditating on your own. And then I remember I was like, even though you're meditating on your own, you have great experiences, I would really like for you to start coming to the center. Has that actually helped you?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah? Oh,
Yeah,
good.
I mean,
I'm so glad, because I was, to me, I don't really know. I feel that, but at the same time, just because I feel like it's going to help you, I don't know if it actually does.
absolutely.
I'm so glad it
Just
does.
being closer to the Sangha itself, I think it makes me realize how important that support system is, because if you reach a point where you're struggling, and then sometimes we'll talk about it, and other people are struggling at these same points, and you realize that we're all in this kind of together, and that we're all there, and that we all are here to support each other and encourage each other to keep progressing and to becoming better people.
Would you say it helps you be more committed too?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I've always looked forward to coming. I think that all the monks do a fantastic job of trying to encourage you and trying to inspire you. I know I personally feel inspired by watching them, and even coming on Sundays, even if I don't understand what they're saying because it's in Thai, I feel good just being around them.
See, I feel like the power of goodness, people can just like you can feel it. It's energy.
Right.
And you just know when you're in a good environment that it's cultivating good deeds.
Right.
Yeah. So another very special thing is you're planning on ordaining for our Kathina ordination.
Yes.
Talk about that a little bit in terms of why you're interested in ordaining and what your purpose is.
My purpose is just to gain more knowledge of the Dhamma and be exposed to, I think, more of the teachings and just to continue learning and go through the whole experience, whatever it may be. I think that something is just drawing me into wanting to do it, and I think it just feels special to me and something that I'm definitely looking forward to.
Okay. And you're also planning on helping to contribute to Katin. Nat mentioned that you're going to donate some money to help him out. Why are you going to do that?
I think that when you dedicate your life and put your life on the line and live off the kindness of others, it's something that I definitely want to support. And I see what a difference in my life it's made, and so I want to put that out to other people and let them have that same benefit. I mean, if you don't put money forward to help or donate your time or donate, it dies. Just like a plant without water.
Exactly. The Sangha needs us.
That's
in order
right.
to run. I mean, they depend on the generosity of lay people to run the operations. So I'm so glad that you have that wisdom in you to understand these things. And for me, I've seen through your answering of certain things, how I've already seen wisdom in you teaching you. Because a lot of what I hear from you, I have to read. And when I find out that you haven't read, but it's something that you know within yourself, it only confirms to me what the monks have always said, which is, it doesn't matter what religious background you are or your nationality or anything, because the answers are within yourself. And when you get to a certain point of meditation, you know the answers for yourself.
Yes.
You know, and I've seen you answer these things. So it's pretty powerful. So let's end with one last thing. In terms of sharing anything that you want with someone to help inspire them to meditate, what advice would you give them?
I would give them that to just give it a try. You know, whatever your time frame may be, whatever your schedule might be, you know, give it a shot. Just for 15 minutes, 10 minutes. You know, sit in stillness. And I think that even if you just relax, I remember there were times when I was meditating and my mental chatter was going off, and it wouldn't be what I quantified as a good meditation. I would be really hard on myself and really frustrated, and I'd wake up and I'd be very frustrated. But once you start that progression, it appears in you, and even if you don't notice it yourself, other people notice it within you, and it brings good things to you. And so I think that would be my words of encouragement, is just try it.
Thank you so much, Aaron, for your time today.
Thank you, Bea.
No problem. Thank you.